All right, welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Godzilla here, talking about my countdown to Duberville. All right, so this week's episode is going to be a quick one, just talking about picking a gym to train at. We're talking about training strongman. So you think you would need to train at a strongman gym? That's not always the point. So I'm going to give you a few little tips on how to make your gym more strongman friendly. All right, coming to you this week from Brickyard Gym in Darlington, PA. It's been my home gym for the last almost a year, I guess, training here. I still train at other gyms. I actually train at probably 4 or 5 different gyms, 1 or 2 garages, basements. The thing with strongman is you can really mix up your training. You don't got to stay to one gym. If you have a gym that has all the equipment, that's great. You can train if you have other strongman competitors, but that is hard to find. So I'm going to talk a little bit about making your gym work for you. I said, this being a bodybuilder's gym, I've trained at CrossFit gyms, I've trained at powerlifting gyms, I've trained in basements. You can make it work. There's little tips and stuff you can do, and I'm going to help you out with a few of those now. I don't know how many of you guys watching these videos are as old as I am and remember the Zuverman. He was actually at the first 2 World's Strongest Mans back when they were from Strongman, California. Back then the sport, it was new. You had to make your own implements. A lot of guys didn't touch the actual stuff when they actually went to competition, and that's kind of where it could be now a little bit, where you don't have the implements to train on, the logs, the yokes. You can go through and make your own equipment, travel around to different gyms that have the different equipment. But back when the sport started getting popular, I would say probably on the amateur level, which I didn't even know about the sport until the last 4 or 5 years, but it's been around for, I would say, a good 10 to 15 years at the amateur level, getting a lot more popular now. CrossFit is actually helping, I think, strongman a little bit, get a little more mainstream. So you're seeing a lot more of the implements at regular gyms. You might see a log. Half the people in the gym don't know what it's for. But if you're trying to find a gym, ask questions, see what equipment they have. A lot of gyms will let you bring your own equipment and keep it at their gym. I know the gym I train at here, there's a few specialty bars that guys have brought in that they'll let other people use them. They just keep them kind of separate from the rest of the stuff. So ask your gym owner if you can bring stuff in. Ask if there's stuff that you can use. As always, be respectful of the equipment if it's not yours. And if it is yours, let somebody else use it. They may find the love for the sport also. So that's tip number 1. All right, let's talk about another tip here. I brought it up earlier. It's a pretty popular thing. They call it basically Strongman Saturdays, some gyms Strongman Sundays. That is very important if you don't have a gym that has all the equipment. You can go travel around. I'm thankful enough that I have at least 3, 4-ish gyms around me within an hour drive time that do strongman, that have some of the equipment. So you travel a little bit, find the local gym. The real thing that's nice is when these gyms have competitions, you're using their equipment usually, so you're able to train on the stuff that you're actually going to use in the competition. So that's key. If you can get with a gym that has a strongman Saturday, a month or 2 out from competition, actually go train with other guys on the stuff you're going to use at the show. So if your gym doesn't have it, you can always go and use it. There are ways to train at your gym to replicate some of the stuff. And all right, so I've mentioned before the name Kale Beck. If you don't know who it is, look him up, startingstrongman.com. He's on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. He put out an ebook recently. I can't remember the exact name, so sorry, Kale, if I get it wrong. But it's basically how to train strongman in a commercial gym. I haven't gotten it myself because I don't have to train in the commercial gym. I have equipment. But it really does break down a lot of the movements and how you can replicate them in a gym without having the actual stuff to train on. So if you go on his website, look that up. A lot of guys will give you advice too. You can always ask questions, ask anyone who wants to do strongman. Like I said, as always, message me, DM me, email, all that stuff. But yeah, look that up on startingstrongman.com. All right, so that's just a couple tips this week on Countdown to Duberville. Just letting you guys know that if you don't train at a strongman gym, you can still train strongman and get ready. Like I said, it's going to be training partners. It's going to be a little bit of travel. Find the gyms that have some of the equipment, asking questions, making your own equipment if you have to. But there are ways to train and compete in the sport if you don't have an actual strongman gym. And with the information on the internet and everybody willing to help you, you too can be a strongman like me. Until next week, Countdown to Duberville. Godzilla out.